It's time now for our next guest. It's our third guest, and they've been now running for 4 seasons, and the Masters Summer League started off as a bit of a social competition, but it's evolved into a fully fledged off-season competition filled with lots of soccer, lots of banter, lots of injuries, dare I say, as well, but a lot of social element to it as well. It is the Master Summer League, and to tell us all about it is a member of the committee, Nick Screech. Nick, good evening and welcome to the show. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very well, thanks, Tonchi. And great introduction there. It's not often the Masters football gets called scorching summer of soccer. So being described in dynamic terms like that is, we're very grateful for it. Thank you.
Well, they are predicting it is going to be an El Nino effect over the weather patterns this year. But with the Masters, once the older players, they cross over the white line fever, it is blistering action, and I tell you what, it certainly turns back time. But mate, tell us a little bit about, for those that don't know what the Masters Summer League is, enlighten us. Tell us a little bit more about what the Masters Summer League is.
Yeah, so it's an over 35 summer soccer competition or football competition. It's currently men's, but if there was enough interest in the future, there's always openness to doing something for the women as well. Hopefully the Women's World Cup will prompt some interest there. As you mentioned, like, it's very social, it's a lot of fun, but it's also competitive. When you get a load of blokes that thought their careers had gone by and pulling their shirts back on and crossing that line, it can the clock winds back quite well and easily. We have between 10 and 12 teams from around the Surf Coast, Geelong and Bellarine regions, and you've got a really good mix there. And I think one of the key things about it and what makes it such a good, fun competition from my point of view is all the games are played at the same venue on the same day. So you got 10, 12 teams there all playing. There's a great atmosphere. People can get around, get to know each other. And as you alluded to there, there are some light refreshments during the course of the day. Just on that, on most match days, we have the beer truck from Brewery Colo comes along. They're very pleased to say they're returning as our major sponsor for this year. So they're absolute legends. They come along with their beer truck and help everyone enjoy the day as much as they possibly can. So what else is there? We have a physio on hand, which is
Is there a first aid station? Yeah,
there is. We've got a physio that applies just the right amount of encouragement to get you to go and do what you like. I'll tell you a very quick story on that. Last year, I started off playing. I went over after 15 minutes and I twisted my knee, and she came on and she said, "You will go to get a scan on Monday, won't you?" And I was like, yeah, and kind of done what middle-aged men normally do and was brushing it under the carpet. But that came back to me, and I went and got a scan, and I discovered I'd actually done something semi-serious. So it's great to have them on hand. It really is. She plays a great role getting the competition up and running and keeping us all moving. I mean, probably the most important part about it, though, and the purpose of the Masters Summer League is to promote an environment where we can all get out there and look after the physical and mental well-being of all the players in the region. And while we're doing that, what we try and do is raise funds for charities and good causes that are aligned to that. So they're the key reason for us being there. But we get to have a lot of fun, a lot of good times while we're doing it.
Mate, you mentioned your involvement as a player, and you had that little bit of an injury, but you decided also to get a little bit more hands-on involved in the actual running of it. And tell us how that came about, and who else is involved in the Masters Summer League from a committee point of view, if you like.
So committee support, we've got Ross Abraham, Simon Blanche, and Barbara Cara. They were the guys that set it up initially, and since I've got closer to it, quite frankly, it blows my mind how they managed to do it for the 4 years that they've done so far. This year, they've brought in, I think there's 6 or 7 of us that have come in to help them, and we've all got allocated areas of responsibility. So now we've divided the work up, and you'd like to think, as well as taking pressure off of them, it helps us to do things more thoroughly anyway. So, really excited about the new season. I myself look after sponsorship and merchandise. So, if anyone out there wants to come and join us and sponsor the competition, please reach out. We'll be happy to talk to you. But it feels like it's coming together really nicely. I'd not really. I mean, we turn up in January, play a few games through to March, and I hadn't even considered what goes on in the background. And this year, everything's up and running, and people are working on it now. So it just goes to show how much work it takes to put something on like this.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. Now we'll put the slide up there. The expressions of interest. Now, obviously, most of the teams, most of the clubs, I guess, have already locked their spot in and they've shown that interest. But individuals, if individuals wanted to come on and they're a little bit shy or they're really not part of a team, but they'd like to play, is it possible for individuals to come, and are they allocated to a team? And how can they get in touch with you guys?
Absolutely is. Anyone wants to speak to us about anything, Facebook page is really good. We're all hooked up to the messenger, so just drop us a line with if you want to play, if you're interested in sponsoring, whatever, and someone will pick it up and get in touch. What we tend to do is we've got a bunch of teams, as we say. You've got groups of players there that are sort of well attended, but we start to fill other teams up as we go along as well. So if you don't know anyone, you're new to the region, which is a bit like me, really. I only moved down to to Port Arlington probably 3 years ago now. And when I did, I wanted to meet some people. I got in touch with Drysdale, and then they put me through to this competition. So it's a really good way. If you don't know anyone, you want to dust off your boots or start playing for the first time, we take all sorts. It's really like that's probably the best thing about it is the atmosphere. It's very inclusive. Everyone can get involved and have a great time. So, please reach out.
Well, we've got someone. I think this might be a bit of a prank. I think Adam Screech, same surname, saying, "Where do I sign up?" Is that a brother? Is it, or is it?
That's my brother. Yes, he's popped in when he's been passing through a couple of times, and he's very keen on the beer truck. He likes that. Part
there you go. well, I guess if you want to play, there's certainly there's a scope there. There's an opportunity. And if you want to just partake in the, sideline activities, that does include the Brewery Colo famous beer truck, or just, hanging it on your brother or whoever else that that might be playing. There's something for everyone. When is it going to kick off, and when's the season expected to sort of, when is the season expected to start?
So it starts on January the 6th. So it's the first week after the sort of New Year holiday. And it's usually every Saturday. And as I say, all the matches are in the same place on the same day at the same venue. In previous years, we've had Drysdale, Surf Coast, and Barwon have been in Grovedale, have been sort of big supporters of it. But there's been some other venues that have really been helpful as well.
Now, I've had the pleasure of calling many games and commentating over the last few years. This year in particular, I called a lot of NPL Victoria games. But one of my highlights on the local scene commentating was with commentating down a Shell Road Reserve with none other than Barbaros, John Cara. There we go. You were our guest commentator a few years ago. I remember it very, very fondly, and I think there was a game that involved, I'm not mistaken, Drysdale or Geelong Rangers and possibly Surfside. But it was lovely to just see blokes having a really good go, and it was a beautiful day. It was absolutely fantastic, a real festive feel about the whole place, and certainly something to look forward to in the new year. And it comes at a perfect time just to brush away those, get rid of those Christmas, New Year festivity kilos. It's sort of coming into the winter season, but as it sort of promotes, and as you said, it not only promotes physical health but mental health as well. So it's something for everyone, and it's fantastic to see.
So I'm just looking at some of the comments there we've got
coming through. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, I'll tell you what. On that note, Nick, thank you so much for joining us on the season finale of the Game of Two Halves podcast. We look forward to, in the new year, finding out all about the, it's season 5, isn't it, or season 6?
It is season 5. So, and when you get to our age, half decades count, and they're really important. So,
Well, I look forward to, we look forward to in the new year, certainly covering the latter parts of the of season 5 of the Masters Summer League. But in the meantime, folks, anyone interested in getting involved in any way, as Nick said, either as sponsors or as players or just coming along as spectators and supporting the great work that the boys do, just get in touch with the Masters Summer League, and you can do so by their Facebook page. So, Nick, thank you once again for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.